Good? All right. Cool. I'll start in 3, 2, 1. So this is Attack on Titan. It's called Wings of Freedom in Europe because there's a weird copyright on the game where somebody has the copyright for the name Attack on Titan, but it's for a board game. So they have to use AOT instead. Playing on the PC version because the PC version's load times are a little better than the console version. It's that wall. Nice. There's no differences between any versions of the game, console or PC. The only difference between the versions is the Asian version in this tutorial that's going to come up now, it actually puts everything on the screen. For the Western version, it stacks, so you lose only about a second, but you have to do the tutorial in the Western version in that precise order. There's no Asian version of the PC version, and it just loads so much faster that it's just worth doing it on the PC version. So Attack on Titan is based on the anime and the manga of the same name. Basically, about 100 years ago, these giant kind of naked human creatures appeared called the Titans and basically broke a hole in the wall. And there are 3 walls, which are Maria, Rose, and Cena. They broke in through the first wall, of which our main character here, Eren, saw his mother get devoured along. He has his friends, Mikasa and Armin, who you'll see in a bit. This is the tutorial that's actually a pain in the backside. On it for a second. There you go. Ugh. Like I said, the Asian version actually stack that, and you can do any of them out of order. But in this version, it's kind of precise, and there's a little bit of a buffer in between. You'll notice in this game as well that the UI is cluttered. Like you'll see in a bit, there'll be even more things that will turn up that are just, you don't need them on the screen. This person is a resupply. We will use them at various points in the run. You can see at the bottom left flashing currently. The top bar is my gas and the bottom bar is my blade. The gas is necessary obviously to burst around, go around, get speed, etc. And you need your blade to be able to actually do damage and to attack the Titans. The game is basically tutorializing us to show that we have to attack the napes of the actual Titans. You'll see during points in this run that this game is broken. Not in a good way, not in a good speedrun way, it's just broken in that you will go for just the back of the neck and you will be only targeting the back of the neck and all of a sudden the game will say, nah, you didn't get that. There will also be times that I'm not looking forward to where the AI will break. And I mean break in a bad way. It's going to be absolutely hilarious. So this is just basically the tutorial to get used to the game. You can actually fail this tutorial and not come first. Happens to most players at the start, but basically there's a load of targets here that we have to take care of. We won't get anywhere near that 5-minute time limit, but basically we want to take care of them in a certain order. There might be a better order than this one that I haven't actually checked too much, must admit, but so far this one works for me. And we keep going down here, basically go around the circle. A second set of targets will appear when that, like so. When that second set of targets appear, we should probably stop the costume donations because there'll be about 2 minutes left. I'm using a little too much gas, so what I'll do is I'll take care of this target, go to the resupply, and then use the gas that I've got. Actually, I don't need to use the resupply. Doesn't matter. So, if you look at the top left of the radar right now, there are currently 2 NPCs surrounding one target and one going to the bottom left. That's good. Those 2 NPCs, there's basically 2 NPCs in this tutorial. Mikasa, who is the one you can lose to, and Reiner, who he will randomly take care of a target for you. And he has actually taken care of the one that's furthest away. That's actually really good RNG. It's just random if it happens. It cannot happen, it can happen. Yeah. The game, you'll notice, actually has really good movement tech. Most of the speedrun tech in this game is basically movement-based. A lot of it will come into play later. We have, from about the 1/3 of the way through, from the 1/3 of the way through, we have actual speedrun tech, which I'll talk about. Most of the speedrun tech is actually a little under the hood. There's a few dialogue triggers that I found. They're a bit finicky to pull off. There's 1 or 2 glitches in the game that are really actually kind of hard, and there's one I don't fully understand, but it's there, and allows you to distract an important NPC long enough to actually skip an entire cycle of something. So fortunately, because of those 2, they've actually taken care of two of the targets, so we can just go and finish that one. And fortunately, we got the whenever you go near the NPCs, they start a dialogue tree, and certain ones are shorter than others. Krista's is nice and short, and yeah, we're number 1, so we obviously you're not going to fail this. There's another mission that's like this a bit later on. The reason why it's any % female Titan over any % Colossal Titan is basically due to the content in the game. Any % female Titan goes up to the end of the Season 1 of the anime with a few little hints and nods towards Season 2 here and there. But the Colossal Titan, which is the other category, which nobody is stupid enough to run, except for me, basically adds on about an extra 2 hours onto the run. So that's why you don't see that run. So this basically is the second half of the gameplay, where it's the garrison life. You go around, you can speak to NPCs to carry on the game. I got very lucky because that's the first potential softlock. That's the first potential softlock point. Here you have to tutorialize to go through buying blade, gas, and gear. You don't actually have the money for the gear. You can sell one of the materials that you get from the mission that we just did. However, we want to save that material for later, and also it's a lot quicker to get it in the next mission because the NPC is standing right next to the next mission marker. So the game's just going to go through another few tutorials. Unfortunately, the first 2 levels are tutorials. This one is going to show off how to attack Titans that for some reason just stare at you and don't actually let you attack them. Thank you very much. And then it's going to show us, you can see at the bottom left we now have items. This is a restorative, which there'll be a hourglass that appears below us. You can basically dodge one attack and go into a damaged state. For most characters, apart from one who I'll get into when we get there, the restorative allows you to move normally. When you're in this damaged state, basically, you basically can't move properly with certain characters like Eren here. And there's also a slow motion feature where if you don't dodge in time, you see that too. I've got 2 opportunities to get past. So we're going to just dodge past this guy. Now, his hitbox is really finicky until like he stands up like that. So you might as well go through the tutorial because you have to go through it anyway. I'll get into the triggers in a bit, but the triggers in this game are broken. Some in a bad way. So basically what's happened is you can see a big giant foot out there. That nice lad, the Colossal Titan, has come back and kicked another hole in the wall, in the second wall. These ones we just want to apparently hit his arm. It's going pretty well. We can't actually, I'm not losing time here because we actually have to wait for these NPCs to finish talking to us. You'll see that we now have 2 NPCs also now cluttering up the UI on the side of the screen. You'll see that they're ranked B. That will come into play a bit later, not just yet, but at some point that will come into play. If you have time for donations, then we've got a few minutes here.
Alright then, we have a $20 donation from PX. Can't wait to watch because I have to go work, but I'll be sure to catch the VOD. Predictions. Eren runs around in circles. The female Titan will pretend to be Sonic. Soft flux somewhere and Armin sucks. Oh, and Beam will not follow you. Good luck.
Thanks, PX. PX is the other runner who runs this game with me. He's helped me race the game. He's helped me find stuff. You can actually, he found that you can actually lock onto the Colossal Titan here just before that actual cutscene, but it's a bit finicky. That happens sometimes. Don't know why. Doesn't matter. Now, the single greatest speed tech that you're not actually going to see until the very last mission occurs right here. This thing, the cannon. This thing is the most powerful thing in the game. I believe it's based on your blade, and we'll get into that a little later. But basically, you want to shoot good old Colossal Titan in the face. The damage values are a random value based on your weapon. He's going to raise his arms and then attempt to hit the wall. We want to hit him as many times as we can now, whilst trying to delay it. That's a good roll. If you can get up to the highs of the 330 or above 300, that's a good roll. Anything below is bad. So I'm going to hit it now just in case. Try and get this hit. I missed. That's the hardest hit to get. We should still be fine. There's nowhere on his face that actually does extra damage or anything like that. But if hopefully we've done this right, we can hit him before he hits the wall. Do it. It's close. Nice. Nice. That was really close, actually. You can actually also use your boost and just dash in place in the air, and that kind of gains some height. I'm out of gas. So now Eren goes to try and take out the nape of the Colossal Titan, and the Colossal Titan disappears. So. And now, we don't play as the main character for another 14 missions. So, pretty good. Now we're going to get into our second character of the run. No, actually, I'm wrong. I'm a mission ahead. No, we still play as Eren. Do we have a result for the donation?
Yes, we do, and the winner is the Christmas costume.
Alrighty. So, oh, I want to speak to you again. The costumes I can only change in these parts here. This is Eren's. He is a reindeer now. Did I change my gear? I did. Cool. I buy one specialized. I buy one specialized piece of equipment here. This isn't the best Christmas costume. You'll know when we get to the best Christmas costume. We buy one specialized piece of gear here. It's either the blade, and it goes into the cutscenes as well. Let me explain why we go into them. And here I'm just going to pick up an NPC to help make things go a little faster. And this is where I'll explain as well in this mission why the triggers are broken. I went so fast there. So we want to head over to Armin, who is... He's a wonderful person, he is. His AI is nice. He is one of 2 AI in the game who will actually resupply your gas and blade, or is supposed to, but sometimes he'll decide not to because he's Armin. So this is the first main proper mission that we get. It will start tutorializing us on triggers. That should be good. I'm actually really close to that. That's actually really good. So green are side missions, but for the sake of this mission, they're actually a main mission. So basically, what we want to do is we have knowledge of the triggers of where we want to be for the next few Titans that appear. So 3 are going to appear in this courtyard. 1 here, 1 over there, and 1 over there. And we want to take them out as fast as possible. And that's going to be for most of the run. This trigger is fine, we can leave it, but the one after is not good. Just to describe my equipment, the blades, obviously it's your damage, your sharpness, and also length, which will come into play hopefully later on. If it doesn't, I've messed something up and haven't got the good blades. With the gas, you have speed and obviously how much gas you can take. So Armin obviously tells you to resupply, and like I said, Armin's one of the nice NPCs who actually hopefully resupply us. Armin. This is the first of the really broken triggers in the game, which is weird because it's a side mission, but it's actually, for the sake of doing the mission, it's a main mission one. You can't progress until you've done it. We have to wait here because some of the triggers in this game, and this is the first one, don't work. So basically this one we have to wait until a certain dialogue line before the trigger actually connects, which is this one here. There's a lot like that. There's... The speed tech later in the game was found by General Beatrix. Oh, that's not the right thing. The only thing that I have contributed to this run is finding 4 softlocks. There are 3 softlocks we can trigger manually, and there are also, I think there's 1 softlock that occurs automatically, which I'm being a bit careful of. Again, this is a main mission one, it's red, so we'll mostly be going for these ones. This is another one that I think it works, but this is one that we have enough time to kind of just stay by and then kind of go to it a bit later. So we'll wait until Mina starts talking. Basically, this is all the Titans are invading Troost District. All the Titans are invading Troost District after the hole was put in the wall by the Colossal Titan. And we're basically trying to save as many people as we can and also just stop the Titans from overrunning the place. There are some cutscenes in-game that you can't skip, and then there are CGI ones that you can skip. So this one coming up is one that's in-game that we can't skip, and you'll notice sometimes I'll accidentally try and skip them because I keep forgetting which ones are skippable and which ones aren't. But it's mostly a simple mission. It'll start getting a bit more complex and in-depth after this. The first proper speed tech actually comes here. There's a Titan over there. That one. I'm going to be Armin. I'll replace my blades one here. We want to leave that one alive. If we leave that one alive, we will specifically skip a set of dialogue triggers from Thomas, who is a different recruit, and that will enable us to end the mission a bit quicker. We'll be getting a tutorial in a second. See, that was focused, but apparently according to the game, that wasn't. So I want to go for the little one. You'll notice there's little ones and big ones. It is completely random. as to which ones spawn. Obviously, Little are better because they go down easier. Little are also better for a certain character in a bit. So because we killed all the main mission ones that appeared and not the one that's actually fighting Thomas, we will skip that dialogue from Thomas. Not this one, he says this automatically. The final subjugation target will now appear. The final subjugation target is the final one. It's not boss, but it's kind of like the last one that you have to kill on each mission. You are in the way. So this is the last one. So what you're supposed to do is wait for a tutorial explaining a system called the Decisive Battle System. What this does, and it adds more elements to our UI, as we kill Titans during the game, this bar fills up, and we can activate this bar, like this, and it doesn't matter any time now, because the mission's over, we just have to wait for the dialogue to go through, where we have unlimited gas, unlimited blades, and it resupplies some of our gas and blade. So for certain missions where we don't get lucky gas drops or blade drops from the enemies, we'll be using this, and we'll use it in conjunction with killing certain Titans to do extra damage and also get extra allies who come with us. Now what happens is the Titans come in and they basically wipe out the entire squad. Armin is about to get eaten and Eren sacrifices himself for him. Rest in peace, main character. So now we go on to Mikasa, who is arguably potentially best character in the game. I feel like there's a different, better character. She has a nice Santa outfit rather than reindeer outfit. If you have time for donation, we should have time for some.
There are no donations in right now, but I could take this time to tell you guys that we do have a run after this, Crusader of Senti by George. We do have a bid war for, I believe it was, character name. And right now there's only one name available, so if you wanted to take a shot at that, then go straight ahead.
Should be a good run, actually. So now we basically... Mikasa here has a different starting ability to Eren. Eren's first ability doesn't matter to the point where, like, I don't even remember what it is. But Mikasa's first ability here is called Chain Attack. And basically, when you hit Y after doing the attack, you've tried to softlock me, haven't you? Get out of here. When you press attack after your normal attack, you have another attack that basically goes to another enemy. So you can chain attacks this way, and you can also use it sensibly to get behind Titans' like weak points. So sometimes, like when I'm too far away like that and I don't attack in time, I will get pushed behind the enemy. And what will actually happen is, yeah, I'll get into a better position to actually be able to do the next attack. It's better in the early game to not use chain attack because your damage caps off after the first one. And the reason why Mikasa isn't the best character is because of chain attack. And I'll explain why later. And I don't know how I got onto this roof. That's pretty impressive. We're going to go over to some NPCs now. I'm going to put this warning out. This is a potential hard crash. This cutscene that happens here, there's a particle effect after it that sometimes hard crashes the game. Just randomly. Knowing my luck, I haven't had it for a long time. We're fine. So now it's just a typical, here's some targets. You don't have to kill all of them, but you have to kill a majority of them. So we're going to wait, and then you see there how I targeted a different Titan. It stopped the slowdown, and then actually like made me go to the other target so that I could actually like, you're still alive. Huh. So it made me go to the other target so that I could actually like quickly get to it. You have to be in range of, I believe, your anchor for it to work. So the anchor that we've got is one of the longest at the start of the runs. Also, the targeting can, again? The targeting can sometimes be a bit weird. So now that they're dead, we're going to go over to the next point. Turn around. So Jean's dialogue here, up until this next point, is the trigger for when we want to use our decisive battle signal to get some extra damage and replace our gas and blades. So you'll see on this guy, he's got some yellow markers on him. That will come into effect later. I'll explain why when we need it. We get here in time. This should be the last one. That was reasonably okay. So in the middle of the cutscene that I skipped, Armin basically told Mikasa that Eren got eaten. Mikasa has big feelings for Eren, and she overextends and basically uses up all her gas and blades, and is about to get eaten by a Titan when she's saved by a different Titan, who you're about to see now. This is this is a wonderful level. This is a wonderful level that broke for me last week, the first time I've ever seen it break like this. Because she overextended and doesn't have gas and blades, the gimmick is that you don't have any gas or blades. And this is our first, basically, teammate AI who we really want him to kill all these Titans for us. We can kill small ones. This is actually a medium, so we can't kill. I need you off the roof. I can't believe you actually hit me. He's actually doing a good job. So sometimes this AI of this mysterious Titan will kill all of them. Oh, that's actually a stroke of luck. He actually killed them all in good time. He will now decide to walk off wherever he wants to walk off. He's off that way. We'll see him in a minute. The AI in this game is broken, and not in a good way. So he will decide to go over there and kill that Titan. And where he goes now is up to him. I hope he's just going to stand there. All right, that's fine. Sometimes he'll go off that way and then just walk around the map that way. His AI has a set path that he wants to go on, and if he's not on that set path to begin with, he'll just walk around wherever he wants. So Armin and Connie here will give us some gas and blades. The main objective for the next part is getting him to the middle part. He kind of follows us, but he again goes his own set path. So what we want to do is try and take out the Titans on the way. So again, it's random spawns. Some of these will be large, some of these will be small. Again, we're too far away to be able to use the actual chain attack from this guy. The closer you are to a Titan when you attack, the better, the more damage you'll do. He went all the way down to the end, didn't he? No, he actually is in the middle. Oh, nice. Who's down at the bottom? So we want to just, like I said, basically take out everyone we can. Armin actually gave me a really lucky gas resupply. I'm going to take these ones out on the sides here. That is an example of your blade length. You see that I actually took out the arm of this Titan as when I was aiming for the nape of this guy. That is going to be an important factor later on. Titan behind me, I'm going to hope that he doesn't get caught on it. Which I should never hope in this game when the AI is like this. We basically need him to get here, and then the final subjugation targets will appear in the four corners. Where are you going? Where are you going? Don't join the side mission, please. Thank you. If he joins the side mission, and it's very rare that happens. Also, watch out, the target's nearly destroyed when it's at full health at the top left. But basically, when he joins that side mission, he'll basically wait there in that area until you sort it out. He should be close enough. Okay, good. So now we wait for a specific dialogue line before we use our decisive battle signal. He's going to be going around trying to kill these Titans, but again, it's faster for us to just take them out. A little late, but if you're late when you call them in, as you can see, they go and attack the targets anyway. They prioritize arms over napes, which is why I like to do it a little earlier. We only want to go for these guys that have like the biggest silhouette, who look like they're on fire. Fortunately, the AI can. If the AI, you can see on the left-hand side, you can see like their portraits are kind of like they've got like a kind of bar to them. When they're full, they will actually attack. So we're really hoping that when they... The reason why we use the decisive battle signal is when you use the decisive battle signal, it automatically, if they're in the vicinity of a Titan, they will automatically use an attack, which is obviously a bit slower, and is very slow for a certain character coming up. So the next mission is pretty cool. Everyone's realized that this abnormal Titan is actually helping them. So this mission is literally just... Also, it's anime, so everyone likes to yell and scream a lot. You actually get to play as that Titan. So what we're going to be doing... It's getting stun-locked by the enemy, as usual. What we're going to be doing is dashing and punching. This is the quickest way to build up both our bar for a special attack and also to kill the actual enemy Titans. There's a tutorial that will turn up Be quick enough. Nice, I am quick enough. I skipped it. I think. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. The tutorials and the triggers in this game are really weird. You have to be so precise. But basically, we don't actually have to kill all the enemies like the tutorial wants us to. It like goes through, hey, you need to do this attack and this attack. You don't actually have to. Again, it's just a lot faster. Dash, punch, and just take care of them. In this part, we want to take care of the Titans that are harassing the NPCs. Again, it's all completely random which size Titan you get. It doesn't really matter in this mission because this Mysterious Titan basically beats them in one punch. So we want to stay around by these NPCs. There should be, yep. It's also better to start here because these two at the ends of the stairs will actually just decide to walk off. And it's really annoying. Again, I think we can leave that one because these are the NPCs we have to protect. You can also, when you're dashing and punching, get caught on the edges of edges like this. So we basically want to be careful where we dash and where we punch. We don't have to kill all of the Titans here. There's a certain amount. You can see there how I used a normal attack, how slower it was. I believe we should be fine once we... This guy... Yep. I actually skipped some extra dialogue. So we want to stay here for the final one and use our special attack. I actually skipped a big chunk of dialogue there. I need to remember that for my next run. That was actually really useful. Reiner and John are supposed to talk to one another. Reiner didn't speak. So, hey, new speed tech. Nice. So, what happens now is that, actually, surprise, this suspicious-looking Titan here is actually Eren, our main character. So, they now hatch a plan. Where this hole in the wall has been kicked in by the Colossal Titan, there's now going to be a plan for our Titan friend here, Eren, to actually go and plug up a hole in the wall. When you finish a level, you get experience to level up that character. Most of the skills in this run actually aren't that useful. However, there are some that I'll point out that are. Oh boy, it is time for best character Armin, and best costume Armin as well. He gets to be a snowman. And it actually takes up a tiny bit of extra screen space. The New Year's one takes up even more screen space. So I'm actually a little thankful that that wasn't picked. But now we get to take out Titans as a snowman. 7 dialogue. The dialogue choices here are either, there's a 2 for Mysterious Titan, 3, 5, or 7. This is one of the 2 7s in the game. So Armin here is an unfortunate character. You can see me recruiting allies like I did earlier. And you can see that we have Connie as a B rank. We want 4 allies if possible. And on this mission we want to hope for hopefully a lucky gas drop. We actually got really, really far there before the cutscene started. So there's cannons here that will help us out. But basically Armin has... Okay. Armin has the lowest attack power in the game. Lower than Krista, who is an optional character who you can't play as in the actual main story. To make up for that, we have the order system. Oh, that's a lucky gas drop. I need that. That's going to make things really fast and really quick. I don't have to worry for the rest of the mission now. So it's given us the tutorial that we have to do anyway, but we have to kill about 10 Titans. PX found this. We have to kill about 10 Titans here. And the nice thing as well is when you use your allies, they actually don't do... Not the speed, apparently. They don't actually do the slowdown. So we want to kill, like I said, about 10 targets. Is that going to be enough? I think that should be enough. I lost count at about 6. I want to take care of these ones. Oh, just fell out of my pocket. Nice. This is actually going surprisingly well. And then if we've done this correctly, we should hopefully... Nope, we missed one. Good. This one. The next set of targets will appear after this. There's... Nice, there they are. And this is why I wanted the lucky gas drop, because I can just go a lot faster in this mission now. I don't have to worry about anything. I can start attacking. When you like boost with your gas and stuff, it actually uses up your own gas to do that, to get closer. I was not worried about that. There's a dialogue skip in this level. It's very, very hard to pull off, to the point where I don't think I'm going to get it. We're going to go down here now. One of our allies has appeared, Annie. There's a minute countdown when you get to her. She is the dialogue we have to skip. If I can take care of these fast enough. Can't. I have to wait until this dialogue finishes anyway, but basically now another gas drop. Wow, that's pretty lucky. These titans are going to appear. We want to take care of about 3 of them. And then the big speed tech of the run is going to appear in this tutorial. Go over to this one. So basically these are grenades. We get in front of a titan and we use a grenade, and if it's weak to it, it will stun it. And even though this one actually is pretty nice. Even though that one actually wasn't weak to the flash grenade, that's still the one you have to use for the tutorial. So it still counts. Get to the next trigger fast enough, and then we sit on this roof and wait for the last targets to appear. Again, we don't have a decisive battle signal. We will get it. You get your decisive battle signal back every time you finish a side mission. So when the Annie one runs out, you'll get it. But unfortunately, there will be a lot of dialogue. So if we can do this fast enough. And the weird thing is, there's a little bit of stagger damage whenever a Titan is getting up like this. So you can see that I'm actually not doing as much. I actually wait on my NPCs deliberately so they'll actually do it. We're not going to do it. Okay, that's fine. So again, the decisive battle signal uses up their orders, but because they're not fully back, they just came back. If they weren't fully back, we could just use our allies again. Want to take care of these 3. You can see how little damage Armin does compared to everybody else. Nice. Armin does so little damage, and yeah, we've got unfortunately this dialogue, which you can skip it. It's very, very precise and very hard to pull off. I haven't been able to pull it off in about 20 runs. It's actually ridiculous. If we've got any donations, we've got a good time for them now. Okay, so basically what's happening is they've had a big plan. This giant boulder here in the middle, they're going to use to plug up the wall using Eren as a Titan. Now, Eren as a Titan is a little bit weird, and he basically doesn't know friend from foe right now and tries to hit Mikasa and instead punches himself in the face and knocks himself out. So now we're going to control Mikasa again. Costumes keep on equipping themselves, which is really annoying. So I have to go into, and this is why in certain levels we won't actually be able to change the costumes, because we have to actually we have to have that character in control in a screen like that for the costume to actually take effect, because if the costume changes, the game's a little weird and basically gets rid of it. So here we want to protect Eren, but again, it's so fast to actually take care of them, and 3 small titans is actually really good. Really, really good. I want to hope for a lucky gas drop on this one, if possible. If not, it's not the end of the world, but it would be really nice if we did get a lucky gas drop at some point. Because we have this singular gas, and I've already used half of it. And we have to get to the top of the map, back down to the bottom of the map, and we have the second... Nice, Ian. Ian, actually, your NPCs, again, will take care of targets for you, which is nice. If I can go fast enough here, I can skip some dialogue. Yes, got it. These titans aren't supposed to appear. Brilliant. These titans aren't supposed to appear until this dialogue goes through, but because we went fast enough, we actually skip it. It's reasonably easy to skip this one, but it's one of those that's actually surprisingly easy to mess up on. You can see I'm almost out of gas, and that's part of the course for this. Thanks for helping, Ian. I appreciate it. So I'm going to replenish my gas now. You'll also see on the left-hand side that it's on focus. Focus is them attacking the same time. Are you kidding me? Ah, it's restorative. I was really hoping that was gas. So now the main trigger will appear at the top of the map. We have no idea how to wake Eren up, so everyone's great idea is, let's go see Armin. And if you thought Armin was bad when we were controlling him, he's about to get worse. Off he goes to fight this Titan, and then he just disappeared backwards for no reason. His AI is awful. We basically have to escort mission him. I don't even know where he went. Is that not a restorative? He will go after this Titan if I'm not careful. I'm being... Okay. I don't know why he's over there. So the trigger, as you see, moved to there. We have to be a little careful. Please don't go after that Titan. Please come this way. Okay, these appear, and he won't move forward until they're actually dealt with, so we're going to deal with these ahead of time. I was aiming at the nape, and you saw that it's actually taken out the arm. This is a really good game. This one went inwards. Wow, this one is determined all of a sudden. Oh, that's because Ian actually left it over here. So Ian actually leaves your group, and for some reason, Ian let it over here. And Armin's locked. Locked onto these two? I hate this AI so much. Armin is on the move, except he's not because he's actually staying by to kill these Titans. So now I'm going to have to waste my gas to deal with these Titans. Please don't grab me. Side mission do appear. I'm going to have to waste my... Yeah, I'm going to have to waste this and figure out how to get it back. So now we're going to have to keep moving. There's going to be another ambush like that appears up ahead. I didn't want to use my decisive battle signal this early, but unfortunately, Armin's AI being an AI. When you cancel it, you can see that we've got a tiny bit back, and you can see that when you cancel it, you have the bar remaining that you had. So I did that there. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it up to full until the point where I can do a NPC anyway. And again, we just have to wait for Armin to turn up. And when he hits a certain point, these guys appear. I'm going to try and be a little sparse with my gas use. We have an attack called Swoop, which is that, where if you're above the Titan, and most of the characters apart from like 2 or 3 get it, and it's just a basic one where, oh yeah, even though Ian's not actually in our party, he will keep going with us for some reason. Armin's AI should be good enough to get to Eren now, hopefully. But yeah, most of the characters get Swoop. Some characters get different skills depending on who they are. Mikasa's chain attack, the one where it attacks different targets, is the best skill in the game, and the necessary skill to be able to do the quick killing Colossal Titan percent. However, she's not the character you want to use it with. We'll get into that character in a bit, because that makes them best character. So Armin's big idea of how to wake Eren up is to basically stab him in the neck. Which, surprisingly, actually works. So now we get a load of NPCs, including Armin. Armin won't give us gas for a while, because his AI is great. So we're going to, hopefully... See, this is where I would normally use my decisive battle signal to go fast. It's not too bad that we can't use it, because we have to wait on Eren. Eren is carrying the boulder right now. You gonna give me gas? No, you're not. You never do. Like, Eren has to carry the boulder all the way here, but it's on a set path. So basically, we want to wait. We want to wait until he gets here, but we want to take care of... I should probably not let that Titan kill Armin. There are certain NPCs who are story important, who, if they die, will actually get you a game over. So, as much as I'd like to take out Armin, let's not. Nice. Okay, you see on the right-hand side, a side mission has appeared. We're going to do that one real quick, because not only does it refill our decisive battle signal, but it will also allow us to get Mitabi in our squad, who's a rank B. And that will just basically help take out the final subjugation target a lot easier. So we'll take out this guy. I love this game. We'll cancel it out, kill this guy, and then Mitabi's trigger is actually... It's one of the weird ones that sometimes doesn't activate, so we'll wait. And a lucky gas drop would appear at the very end of the mission where I don't need it. Run. He joined us, that's good. And again, the decisive battle signal spawns some NPCs, so having a second rank B will just help get out a little bit of extra damage. So if we go and see Eren, and hopefully I'm in time to show you the big part of why the AI is bad, this. He just decides to go in a circle. Despite the fact that his path is down here, he'll just stand there, he'll just appreciate the scenery for a while, and walk in a circle. all of the NPCs in this game will do that. There are some really, really bad NPCs later on in this run that will, unfortunately, Armin, will unfortunately potentially ruin good levels, and they happen like almost an hour and a half into the run. It's great. There's one escort mission later on that I'm not going to mention yet that is a run killer. So this guy, as you can see, has a big, massive HP bar. We don't need the speed tech yet, but you see underneath Nate, next to the eyeball symbol, there's like the yellow symbol. That is the kind of grenade that he's weak to. That's going to come into play as of this next mission. So Eren actually manages to plug up the hole in the wall, and then there's basically a load of plot about what to do with him in the background that happens later on. But for the sake of the game, it goes on to certain stuff that doesn't get covered that much in the anime, but now we get on to best character, worst missions. We have Lieutenant Levi here, who is he's our edgelord, and he's a lovely edgelord Santa. And basically what we do here now is we have access to equipment modifications, so we want to take our blades and our gas. The reason why we picked the first generation blade instead of like a different blade is because over the course of these next few missions, I'm going to be doing a little farming in the hopes of getting a really decent set of blades. And then obviously, because we have one special set of materials, as you can, one special set of equipment, as you saw there, they take different equipment. So we want to prioritize the blade when we unlock it, which we need level 24, which is ironically after the awful mission. So Levi starts off with a special skill that is basically, if you wait, I'll show it off here. Saw how it did like a second kind of visual effect? He does extra damage. The game asks you here to do it. This one you can skip. The tutorial afterwards, we cannot skip. If we skip the tutorial that appears afterwards, which ironically enough is the first time that we can use the speedrun tech, it will actually softlock the game. We will be stuck having to kill every single Titan on the map, and that will take up an extra, that works apparently, and that will take up an extra about 5 to 10 minutes. I think on this one it's about 5 minutes. If I can get over there quick enough, I can skip some dialogue. Got it. Okay. There's a tiny bit of dialogue that can play in between that, which fortunately you can skip it fast enough. A gas drop would be nice. Again, Erwin you just have to meet up with, even though the trigger looks like it's back there. It's one of the nice ones that just basically occurs. And now you just have to kill all the Titans in this area. We've gotten some really lucky spawns, actually. Yeah, only one large one, a medium, and then a load of smalls. That's really good. So you want to, as soon as you take those out, as fast as possible, a load of dialogue will start here, and then we'll get the final, well, not final, but we'll get a tutorial here. The tutorial basically, each of the Titans, the final Titans, from now on, will have defensive body parts. They will either be the arms, or in a special case, the legs, which we won't see in the female Titan run. You see it in the Colossal Titan run. But basically, most of the Titans, and it's a little RNG, most of the Titans are weak to flash grenades. Some of them will be weak to sound. But basically, the tutorial here, if you skip any of the parts again, you have to kill every Titan on the map. So I'm going to go a little slowly to make sure. Keep one of them alive. Okay, we're good. As long as that one goes through, you're fine. But basically, you saw the defensive body parts. They were both his arms. Now, whenever you stun a Titan with the grenade that they're weak to, they will put their arms up to their face. And the game will count that as their arms kind of not existing. And then basically you can just go on to the weak part. If you didn't go onto the weak part, you would bounce off, you would not do that much damage, and also your blades would break. So you do have to be a little careful. Oh, want to kill these. These two appear at the bottom, this one appears in the middle, and then those two appear at the very end. We want to take care of all of those before the final one basically turns up. It's actually lucky to get a big, large Titan there, because if you have a small one, the targeting is really a little finicky, and it's hard to like target him in between the buildings. So getting a large one there is actually really useful. for now, we'll just go and wait by the last trigger point. And fortunately, as you can see in this time, we've managed to build up the decisive battle signal. You can also see that Levi's squad has A ranks and S ranks. Erwin and I think Levi himself are the only S ranks, but you won't see Levi as an NPC in this run.
So we have time for some donations.
Yes, more than enough. Go ahead.
And we got a $10 donation by Useless Hobo saying, "Hey Froob, have fun with Eren's AI derping out."
Thank you, Hobo.
And we got a $5 anonymous donation from, well, I guess chat, because they're saying since we found the speed tag with the runner, we should have a say in what to call the tag.
I have no problems with that.
And we also got a $5 donation from Wade Benedict. Great job on this run, Froob. You're making it a very entertaining one.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we got a little unlucky at the end there. The NPCs, you saw me use the grenade before I attacked. Sometimes the NPCs will take out that Titan for you. And it's really fast, it's really nice, but we've only lost like a second or two. Oops. Sometimes the X button will skip that cutscene, sometimes it won't. So Levi just got level 2. And the move that he just got is Mikasa's chain attack, which makes him the best character. Every character has a unique level 7 trait. Obviously, we won't be seeing those in this run. The most we will get to is level 4 with Levi, I think, actually. I don't think it actually matters his level 4. So this mission here, I think this one is it'll say Notebook, which if it is, was an OVA in the anime, but actually very important for the plot of Season 2. It is. Basically, what we're going to use it for, and this is the first Plains mission. When the Plains missions are awful, you see that symbol above my head? I can't use my hooks at all, even though, you know, there are trees right here. So you see, remember when I said about these like little yellow rocks on the parts of the body at the top? Those are materials. These are materials we're going to farm. We have to wait a little bit on the next story NPCs to appear. So we're going to go around real quick and try and farm some of those up. This is the big one to farm up the materials. And fortunately, most of these small ones have one of those. Some Titans that don't have them are still worth taking out, because killing a Titan will get you a Titan skin fragment, and sometimes those can be the rare ones. So guys like this that don't actually have the fragments, it's still worth taking out. And then guys like this just randomly have one on the arm. So that just gave us Plains Combat tutorial, which is like, you can't use your gas and your hooks here, so be careful. There is one character in this actual run who is really well suited to Plains Combat and has a level in Plains, who we will get into. And it's probably one that would surprise you. I'm running a little out of time, so I'm going to have to go a little fast. That unlucky gas drop, I will go for that over that last Titan. So, this horse is slower than actually using your gas to go around, but for one good benefit, you see that we can move while also... Another gas drop. You can see that we move whilst being able to replace our stuff like our gas and blades. And actually, this guy is close to the story trigger, so that's quite useful. But as you can see, the horse has its own stamina bar that runs out. You can upgrade the horse. It's not worth it in the run. How little Plains like missions there are, it's not worth it in the slightest. I won't need to get that gas drop, I don't think, so we should be fine. I was going to say, this trigger is actually taking a long time. I will go for these, even though I should just be taking out these Titans, because I'm a little worried with the amount of material I've got so far. So as you can see, we have the good old chain attack, which makes things so much useful. The trigger for the next one is actually Petra here, so we'll take her with us, and then we can just go about our business and actually go and get some more materials from these guys up here for the last target spawn. I forgot to mention earlier, there's two different types of Titans. There's normal Titans, which are these red ones, and then you see like on the mini-map, the kind of like rouge ones. They're normals, so they're like faster or stronger. It doesn't really matter too much in terms of gameplay. But for the sake of the run, abnormals usually have a higher degree of materials. And unfortunately, as you can see there, you have to be a bit careful, because we were targeting his other leg, which obviously got closed on by his other leg. So you do have to be a little careful. So Hangei's big idea is to capture a Titan, which, oh boy, we'll get into that next mission. So we want to wait here for the last story one to pop up. We're basically going through and like saving Levi's squad from all of these Titan attacks. And the very final subjugation will appear in that village over there. That's a nice, useful drop, actually. I will just kill you. Hangei's a little crazy and really wants to capture a Titan. We're not going to do. Yet. So again, final subjugation will appear, waiting for a specific dialogue trigger to use my decisive battle signal. I believe is the next one. And we have the grenade ready. Now, these ones normally, from this point on, spawn behind, so we have to target the right one, and then... As you can see, his arms then went to the normal color that they're supposed to be, and that basically means you can attack the Nate at will. There is one very special exception to that at the very end of the run. We'll get into that when we get to that. But with the plains missions, you can actually use your hooks on the side of these rocks if they're around. We'll be doing that a little bit on the next mission. And then whenever any mission ends, you can't actually kill any Titans. So you can just bounce off them for a little while. So this next mission is a little infamous. And actually, Levi just got aerial replacement there. It's useful in certain situations. It is necessary for the quick kill at the very end of the Colossal Titan % run. But basically, Levi can now replace his blades in midair. And by doing that, he throws his blades in midair that does more damage than a normal attack would do. It's very useful for doing like a set period of like a little damage if you need, for bigger targets like the final boss of Colossal Titan, which is obviously Colossal Titan. It's useful to get that last little bit. So this is Titan Capture Operation. This is... If anyone knows me, and there have been a few donations that have hinted at this a little bit, this mission is pure hell. It's awful. This is an escort mission once we've finished with the starting bit. I'll get into why it's awful. It's an escort mission with a twist. I'll use this cannon and hopefully get some kills real quick. Good. So you can see already we're doing 3k damage, whereas the cannon we used earlier was only doing 300 to the Colossal Titan. This will come in useful a lot later. What we want to do is take care of these Titans real quick, and then we've got a little bit of a buffer period where we can go and do whatever we want. So that side mission over there, we'll go and do that one and basically farm up a little bit of materials. We want to try and help that side mission and get the materials, but we don't want to complete it. We want as few NPCs as possible in this mission, because we're going to need the route cleared. We will farm a few materials here, so if we have any more donations, feel free to go ahead and read them.
Sadly, we currently do not have any donations, but it wouldn't be a bad time to share with the people that this is ESA, European Speedrunners Assembly. We're trying to raise money for the good cause. And yeah, if you would be so kind and get your donations in to help kids, then you totally should.
So we're going to go up here for the next NPC to spawn. Can you see that one at the very top right of the map right now? That guy right there on that horse. Here's an NPC that for some reason will just follow you constantly throughout the mission, despite not being in your squad. And he's going to get in the way. Now, we'll get Eld here. I don't think he's the trigger, but he helps. Say hello to Sawney and Bean, our escort targets. Yes, we are escorting Titans. We cannot attack them in any... Well, we can attack them, but we can't actually damage them in any way, shape, or form. And their AI is the worst AI in the game. So, Sawney here, the small one, you can actually run away from him. Just literally run away, and then he'll just follow you. Being back there, he can catch up to you. So we're going to be needing some gas for this. But I want to be a little careful. So... we have to move them, we have to move to the mine here, and we have to wait for a little bit of dialogue to go through before we can actually go ahead with run. Oh, it's you first, huh? Okay. So I'm going to try and get him into position down here first. He's actually just going after Eld. Cool. There's an in-game taunt system that you're supposed to use to get them to your attention. It's quicker to use the grenades that they're weak to. Sometimes the taunt will work, sometimes it won't. Being on your horse as well will actually... work? Didn't work, okay. Nice. Being on your horse as well will actually make them de-aggro from you a lot earlier for some reason. And they will trip over everything and anything. They will trip into walls, these rocks, the floor, the air. We have a little bit of a method to be able to make them run again, which is the carrot on the stick approach. However, that uses up our gas, so we're going to try and not do that. Don't want to walk into that. So this guy will go to the bottom right. Even our horse will get in the way. Want to try and stay as close to him as possible, but obviously this guy catches up to you pretty fast, so we have to be a little careful. We have to take him over here into this trap. The stop starting is not good, and it's a shame because like like the AI will either cooperate or it will not. There is no in between. Once he gets to the edge, we can get out, or apparently not, and then we have to go back and get Sawney. It's a really kind of awful mission. There's no way to properly manipulate the AI, unfortunately, other than just like being a little abnormally close and a little dangerously close to like being in a danger part and dying. You can see that I've used my last gas canister. I will have the opportunity to get some more later. I'm going to have to. Sawney here is actually being cooperative and starting to come down here. I would like to not use a grenade if I didn't have to, considering I used one, but he's not paying attention. When they pay attention to you, you can see the eye on the top of the UI next to the grenade that they're weak to, so you want to hope for that. Unfortunately, like we said, this guy being a medium-sized Titan, and as you saw, got caught on my horse, dumb horse, as referenced earlier by an earlier donation. This guy, he's not cooperating. And this is why runs can die. I have, I can't remember if it's in PB or not, but I have an absolutely disgusting sub 9-minute mission for this. It's not happening here, that's for sure. You can see as well that the side missions have gone pink. That means they're going to disappear because we've taken too long. Also, that NPC that followed us around just got kicked. So, like I said, he will stop on anything. He will trip over these train tracks. The route that I'm going to take him is going to try and follow this pathway because his AI doesn't like going up hills. So we're going to try and like stick him as much of the path as we can. I want to go into here. There you go. So running back sometimes helps a little bit. If you get too far away, that's one of the things. He sometimes doesn't go over this hill. Good. This is bad. This dialogue stacks over hang gaze, that's good. If that dialogue stacks over hang gaze, it can delay that dialogue and will delay him actually having the capture cutscene here. And he will walk over the sides of these mountains, even though he's smaller than them. I've had that happen in 2 PB pace runs, and it's just, that's it. Pretty much run over. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take care of some of these Titans. These aren't ones necessary for the mission, but they are for the side mission here, Miche, and what we want is this resupply real quick before they fly away from these Titans. And an NPC died down here. Sometimes when NPCs die, they drop items. So what we want to try and do is keep an eye on the Titans that appeared, because all these Titans that appeared, these 2 down here, and the ones in the middle are the ones we have to kill. But those in the middle just become a giant blob of, as you can see, okay, I don't know which ones are supposed to be which, so yeah. It's really hard to keep track of them. So sometimes it's better to just use the decisive battle signal and just go crazy. And because we came here because we needed the resupply, take it off now so that in case... I think that's the last one I need from here. I think this is the one for the submission. Yep, that gets my decisive battle signal. So that's good because we'll have that for later. You have to be careful because what we have to do is stop the... We have to stop the Titans from going to the Titans that we captured. And you can see on the right-hand side of the map that one of them is making an absolute beeline. So here's the air replacement. We weren't focused on his face, unfortunately. I need to get over there, actually. I'm in trouble with potentially game overing here. If I game over, I believe that's a restart from the start. I don't know if it gives you a checkpoint for a game over, so we're fine because this guy likes to stare at trees. It's kind of a pain that they're out here. Ideally, I would have liked these two to stay at the top because we now have the two final subjugation targets appear on both the top corners, the top corner and the bottom corner of the map. So the one at the bottom corner usually walks out faster than the one at the top corner, so we're going to take care of this guy first. The reason why I gave me an extra flash grenade in case this guy isn't sound grenade. Okay, sometimes when you use a flash grenade on Sawney and Bean, sometimes this guy can become an actual sound grenade instead, which actually that's kind of useful because then because then fortunately, obviously, like we don't have to worry about the materials as much or the flash grenades. This last guy should be flash. He might be sound. I had that happen in practice this week. Nice, that was good damage. That is the worst mission in the game complete.
Well, Froob, may I call you Froob?
Yes, you may.
Excellent. We asked for some help for the kids, you and I both, and we got it.
Oh?
We just had a $100 anonymous donation.
Oh, wow.
Saying, for Hobo Skip. And then we had a $5 donation from Gimmick saying, thanks for the awesome run. I never thought something could be worse than hurting a bunch of cats, but apparently hurting Titans is much, much worse. Godspeed.
Nice. Right, so I didn't equip it. Nice. So this is the sword that we wanted to get. We can only get it after that mission, and it's the Tiger Zero. You can see that it's got a massive length to it, and it's also the more important thing is it has a massive load of damage. So we want to. Thanks to this sword, when we gain control of Armin later, he can actually kill Titans, which is wonderful. The trouble is the length. Gracious Titan crotch there for no reason. If we can go fast enough, and unfortunately we got a bad spawn of a large Titan, we can hopefully... Not going to be able to kill him in time. You can sometimes kill the Titan before this cutscene, but because that was a large one, his health bar probably would have been too large for me to kill. Also, the targeting system is going a bit weird, so we want to kill everybody here. That's the other point as well. Your NPCs also get the blades that you have. So you can actually see like how much bigger these actually are. And because I bounced off of this Titan, it counts as not focusing on the part. The gear that I did buy actually wasn't the best gear for this. Why are you not attacking the name? The gear that I bought wasn't actually the best gear for these sets of blades because there's one that gives you 4. Instead of the 3. And obviously when these swords come into play, it's a lot better to actually have 4. Did I actually miss one? Nice. Hello, sir. Speed apparently, okay. So the next trigger here, Gunter here, his trigger again is one of those that actually follows where he is. So if we go and enlist him, and then obviously we also get another A rank into our squads, we can just go off and basically do the rest of the mission ahead of time. I can't remember if this one was one we had to kill. I think it might have been, so I'm going to try. I think it was, so I'm just going to make sure. But all of these that appear kind of here on the corners are, and I'll gas my blades after I dealt with this guy. This one's a relatively short one. We have to kill all the ones that appeared around the outside. Those two that are in the middle are actually, those two there are actually part of the side mission, so we can ignore those. But there's going to be some that appear that have the exact same markers as those that do need to be taken out. That's unfortunate. You can go a little out of bounds in this game. Despite how broken this game is in places, they do a good job of keeping you in bounds. There's actually a skybox, for instance, that you can't get out of and isn't actually turned off until the very actual final mission in Colossal Titan. I catch this guy before he goes too far. want that guy and that guy if possible. And then you can see there's one at the top left who's coming inside. Want to try and keep track of him. Also, your NPCs will sometimes helpfully or sometimes unhelpfully use the actual grenades that they're weak to. That can cause the enemies to stagger and you to miss your attacks. The one I want. So the idea of here is you're supposed to protect the NPCs in the middle there. You don't have to protect all of them. As long as one is alive, it's fine. This guy is, we got really lucky actually. He usually spawns, he has I think a higher spawn rate with larger titans. And there's that glitch. So sometimes when you use grenades, they won't actually get affected by them. There's 3 levels that I really watch out for it in. This is one of them. So that's unfortunate. But mostly he spawns with like these larger titans, but you can see that we've had a lot in the middle, which actually helps us out a lot. We still get materials here, but they're not that important. We have, with these strats that we've got, we actually only upgrade our equipment in 1 more place in the run. Usually we do it in 2. 1 a bit later because the starting blades just don't have that much power and you can miss a kind of quick kill. But with these blades, we can actually... It's brilliant seeing a Santa just stood there in between everybody else being serious. But yeah, with these blades, it's really nice because you can actually just take care of Titans really fast, even with characters that don't have a lot of power. So this mission is important because we're going to intentionally fail it. Try and kill these 2 Titans if possible. If not, it's fine. Actually, I'm going to leave that one. There's a cutscene that's going to play here. It is based on either your character or the camera's position. I forget which. So you want to be looking towards that wall. The idea that you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get on the cannon and break the wall. The frame rate of the PC version absolutely tanks when you do that. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to just leave everybody here. And we're going to do that twice. This is fortunately not too long of a mission, but we have to do it twice. I accidentally zoomed into my minimap. So again, now we have Misha here. The dialogue that happens is actually like reasonably large, but actually it actually saves about 7 seconds in total. So here's the Hanji failed dialogue. It is actually quicker than the actual victory one, just because of like all the situations regarding it. I took out some of the NPCs here because the final NPC that we need, Erwin, is here, and it's just as a precaution. You don't have to, but it's one of those where it's probably for the best with this game to make sure that everything is safe and sound. Oops. Whoops. Keep forgetting, not a skippable cutscene. Would you like to go over the wall, Levi? Thank you very much. So we'll take care of the last one that's next to him. And we're fortunate because Erwin's AI, or Erwin's trigger here, is dependent on your position. So even though it's there, because we went over and we were by Erwin, the game counts us as having met up with him. So now we'll go over to the final trigger point. We'll put on the grenade that we need ahead of time. It's usually flash. This guy can sometimes be sound. Which one of you just saw me? You're in the way.
Do you have time for a quick donation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, we have a $5 anonymous donation saying, having a massive amount of fun from, hopefully, Levi's massive weapon with massive damage will guide you to a massive victory. And we have another $10 donation from Ariel. Rob's great solo commentary really makes this run. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you very much. So basically, we're back now. We're about to go back into the wall, and the boulder goes right in the way, which obviously we know because we know from Titan Eren he threw that in the way. So now there's a load of cutscenes that happen here where basically, you know, oh my word, there's a human, there's a Titan. We don't know what to do with him. So Levi kicks him in the head and takes him into his squad because anime. I don't know. So hey, we have control of Eren. So now we have to go and talk to some NPCs for a while. The trick here is to position the camera well enough to get past those benches. Those benches are genuinely awful. I joke about it, but it's actually really hard to get past those benches. We go and speak to Mikasa, and then we have to go back over there again. There is a reason why I can't change the costume here, and this is one of the missions from now on are the points where sometimes you can't change the costume, unfortunately, so I apologize about that. We now speak to Mikasa, and hey, guess what? You're not playing as Eren, you're playing as Mikasa, which is probably for the best. So this is a nice short mission. There's actual speed to this mission because you actually have to go fast here to be able to let the NPCs that spawn go the fast route. So again, this is one of those where we have to be a little careful with our blades. And this is one of the missions where the AI can, where the AI can actually break in a really bad way. So even though I don't really need it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this resupply. Even though I have a lot of blade left, you can see just from those 3 Titans that we've already lost like a chunk of these weapons because they are very weak. And the next 4 Titans appear together in a square here, so it's very easy to kind of like bounce off of the other Titans instead of actually like making a clean kill. So that will just make our blades just like break so much faster. We have a few small ones I see, which is actually really good. Apparently I can't count in this 5 this time. I could have sworn it was 4. And because we had a few small ones, that was actually reasonably clean. So I'm actually really happy with that. So let's get on that horse. I shouldn't need any more gas. It should be fine. We want to be a little careful to try and not get any of these Titans that are on the sides to notice us. I'm going to go ahead a little bit. So here comes some of the hardest AI manipulation in the game. And we have to do this in a few places. So Erwin here, sometimes, very, very rarely, their AI has to go down a straight path. Sometimes they will decide not to do that. Thank you, Erwin. He will do that if you don't try and block him with the horse for about a minute or 2. It has ruined a run. He will also try and go down all of these side roads, despite the fact that his AI is set to go straight line. A little worried about that Titan because it could catch up to Eren, who we're supposed to protect. The big one comes at the end of the road here, and I've actually gotten reasonably lucky again. I got reasonably lucky with this in practice as well, where there's 3 Titans that start the mission right here, and they've actually moved to the top, so they won't see us, and they shouldn't be a problem. That's not great, but that's fine. The best way to stop him is to actually ram the horse into the side of him to stop him from going down these side paths. Good. Get the right grenade that we need. Now the final 2 subjugation targets here. If the extra Titans do come down from the side roads, you can actually build up your decisive battle for this final guy, or sometimes even the first guy. But obviously, we didn't get that, which sometimes is good, sometimes is not. I ran out of gas, which is bad, but we can just use Mikasa's chain attack to take it out. Where did you come from? Okay, so the next one... I remember the next one. So we're back to playing as Armin now. This is on this route, the final time that we will upgrade our equipment because we just won't get the actual materials we need for... we won't get the actual equipment that we need for the blades, which is the most important one. But for now, we should have enough... Whoops. Yes, we do. The D-pad as well, using a DualShock 4 in this game is really weird. We can only do it the once, but that does actually give us a massive damage increase, which will help for later. We can upgrade our gas and hopefully our gear quite a lot. Yes, we can. I think the Taken is the last one. Yes, okay, cool. So this mission is very important. I'll take the first part to describe it a little bit. The plan right now is to go back to the wall and set up a supply route. So Erwin's come up with this long-distance enemy scouting formation, which is the title of the mission. And it's very important because there's a soft lock in this mission, which, if it occurs, is absolutely brutal and will waste about 10 minutes. I'll get to it in a little bit. For now, we have 3 waves of enemies, and you can see that I dashed twice. The character that is actually really good in Plains Mission, that has a Plains Mission, is this one, and it's Armin. Because you can just go like this and go behind the Titans and be completely fine. But thanks to these blades, Armin actually does damage to these Titans. It's really, really useful. So we'll take care of the 3 waves, and then we'll have a very special guest appear. And they are the key and the trigger to the soft lock. I don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense in the slightest. I don't know why you're in the ground. And yeah, sometimes, like, depending on your positioning, and that's a lucky gas drop, I will take that. It's useful. We will be going for a resupply anyway, but a lucky gas drop here will actually help me. I'm going to need to resupply my gas before the second part of this mission begins. But that's actually like a really cool feature of the game, is that like all the different blades have different lengths. There's some really like short knives as well that actually like aren't... They're actually really strong, but they don't have that much length. You have to be like within like 5 meters to use. They're not useful in the run, unfortunately, but they're useful here. So I'm going to resupply my blade real quick, and then I'm going to switch to Sound Grenade, because that special Titan that takes Sound Grenades is the one coming up right now. And here is the aptly named female Titan. It is the first female Titan that you see. I think, anyway, I might be wrong with that, but you can tell that she's an abnormal. We get Reiner and Jean, who are better than a load of 4 rank C NPCs. We want to take her out as quickly as possible. And even though she's a special, like, she's actually a boss, but even though she's special, the whole, like, using the special grenades that they're weak to work on her neg. So there's a very interesting tutorial that pops up here called Titan Hardening, where it's supposed to explain that the female Titan can harden her limbs, and it's actually a giant plot point. But for some reason, it's not programmed into the game for this mission. So we can just go ahead and go deal with her like normal. And it's actually not programmed for a few missions. Not until a really weird bit where it doesn't matter anyway, and the final mission. We're going to take care of this guy who's here just so that he isn't a problem. So you can see that Reiner as well, compared to Jean, his bar is filling up a lot faster. That's because of his rank. Obviously, like I said earlier, S is best, C is worst. So the soft lock occurs when she stands up. She's going to stand up. We're going to be able to take her out really quickly. However, we don't want to do that. We want to get her within 1 hit of killing her. Oh, hello there. I want to get her within 1 hit of killing her. A time limit will appear at the top left of the screen. It is a 10-minute time limit. If you kill her before the time limit hits less than 950, and sometimes it can be a little finicky there, so because we're in a marathon, I'm going to let it go down a tiny bit more. The game will soft lock. If the UI disappears, a cutscene will play, and then the mission will just carry on like normal. What you're supposed to do is take care of all the other Titans and take care of her legs, so that she doesn't actually get to the target point at the end. But for some reason, if you kill her before 950 appears at the top left, the game will soft lock, and you have to take care of every single Titan in the level, and then wait 10 minutes. Hit her once more. That's actually really good damage, and then I'm going to be patient, because I really don't want to hit this soft lock. I found this soft lock when I was 10 minutes ahead of PB base, so that should be good. Nice. Obviously, it's a bit quicker to use Reiner and Jean, because obviously you don't get the slowdown. And you know it's 100% worked when that cutscene goes through. If you are too slow in restarting to checkpoint, you have to restart that entire mission again. So this is the part of the run where everything is weirdly breaking for no reason. That is unfortunately not the end of the Armin missions. We have one more with him coming up after this one. But this one, again, is an unfortunate one because even though we're controlling Armin here, we're going to get control of a different character. I believe it's Levi. So unfortunately, I can't change his costume again, and then we go back to Armin the one after. This is Bite. This used to be one of my favorite missions in the run, and has now become one of my most hated because of that lovely fella there who goes by the name of Eren. When I was talking about bad AI, I was talking about this mission, and we'll see it in a bit. What we want to do here is we want to make sure that we kill all the Titans on the route. So this one is most important. The ones by the flags are the most important. And then the triggers are, again, a little finicky. So I want to wait until a specific one, or until Eren gets here. He won't move until these triggers go off, and sometimes he'll go backwards. If he goes backwards all the way to the start, that's not good, because there's a high chance you can game over in this tree. We'll see why in a second. So what's basically happened is they've sent out the stress flares because of the female Titan, and Levi's squad has decided, let's go through the forest. I'm sure that's a good idea. Obviously, the mission is actually to guard Eren as well as get to the supply point. Because they suspect that there's a traitor who's gonna, like, who knows about Eren, because everyone knows about Eren. So the lovely female Titan has appeared. And if she catches up to Eren, that's a game over. PX, who runs this game, has had a wonderful glitch where she has, instead of following the path, which is what her AI is supposed to do, is supposed to follow this pathway, her AI has decided to go across this land and just run up to Eren. Now, because we took out the female Titan fast enough and we got here in time, we got back to the trigger before Eren gets here, so there's actually a little tiny bit of a dialogue skip we managed to do. That's good. And these two gas drops are really lucky. Again, like, I don't think there's a way of manipulating them. It's all just random, just like the Titans that spawn. But to get gas is the most important one. Gas is, like, the resource that you lose the most, because if you have... We've got an extra 2 gas at this point, which means I can just start boosting and going after Titans all the time. Even ones that I'm not supposed to be going after. Again, this is the important one. Those Titans to the top right, they have supervision, and they will come and see us in a second. But again, I want to wait until the actual triggers go off. What these triggers are supposed to do is these scouts are supposed to go and stop the female Titan. Because I did a quick kill on the female Titan, what's going to happen instead is we've actually skipped a little bit of dialogue. But I have a suspicion this is why the AI breaks. And if the AI is broken, you'll see it in a minute. You're not the one I want. So again, we just want to basically protect these choke points from where Eren's going to sit. Those are the 2 Titans that we want to get. This guy's going to come over to us. Those ones in the bottom left over there sometimes come over to us in a minute. Just going to be careful of those. I'm very surprised we didn't actually hit that Titan who's in the middle of the path back there at the moment. The next one appears, and this is where Eren's AI can break. So, Eren's AI pathway, for some reason, goes through this tree. Don't know why. It's really silly. I'm trying to strategically put some NPCs in the way so that when he does eventually stop circling and get over here, that he doesn't try and walk into this tree. Because he really likes this tree. Like, he will run into this tree for a solid minute or 2. So, female Titan has code from defeat, so we've got to be a little careful in case that glitch happens. He's just going to start jumping over fences. He's going to do him. Don't do it. He's actually behaving, which is surprising. I've had about 10 runs in a row where he will literally just run into this tree. He will try and hump this tree. He loves this tree. And now he's just stopped moving, even though he was already stopped moving. So how is he going to go? He's trying it. I'm going to try and push him through the fence, but he's trying it. Come on. For some reason, he's not going over the fence. You see, look, he's actually, his AI is programmed to the middle of the tree, and I don't understand why. I hate this game and I love this game at the same time. Like, yeah, if you push him, he just goes back to the tree. Like, until he hits like either a certain dialogue trigger or until a certain point, he's just gonna keep trying to run into this tree. Like, the end trigger for the level is that one there, and he's just gonna run into this tree. There's literally nothing I can do. All the dialogue has gone through, he's just gonna sit here. Like, I can go forward and he still won't go forward either. Like, I'm just going to go take care of this Titan. Come back and see how he's doing. Is he actually moving? Oh my word. Oh, I have to get on my horse real quick. So the last part... He circled. So the last part of this is he will circle in front of the end goal and you have to push him over. I don't understand why. I think it's because I take care of the female Titan too early. And now he's off. The AI in this game is dumb like that. I don't understand why. But you can have amazing runs just ruined because of that mission now. And it's not been patched or anything. There's not been a patch. It keeps happening. I think that's the penultimate Levi mission. We're going to go back to Armin now. If you've got some donations, if you could give me a minute or two, because I can describe what this mission is about, and then we have a big, massive chunk of time. And you aren't a snowman, sir. That's better. And that made the NPCs disappear. Awesome. Oh, look. Controller? Nice. That happens sometimes. Controller just disconnects. So this mission is a little unfortunate. This is the entrance to the forest. So we're going to get some NPCs here. The only fast parts of this mission we can do are the start and the very end. The unfortunate thing about this, we've not found a way to break any triggers in this, which we really would like to hope to, because we're going to take care of these Titans at the start, and then there's going to be a time limit. It's a 5-minute time limit, and unfortunately, I can't skip it. Even if you do all of the objectives in the time, you can't skip it. You have to wait the 5 minutes out. So unfortunately, this is the worst mission in the game. It's very Resident Sleeper. It's awful. I apologize for it. It's right near the end. It's literally just a bit of a snooze fest. So if you do have any donations, now is an absolutely wonderful time to get some in.
Alright then, we do have some donations in right now, so let's get started. We have $5 donation from an ordinary idiot. Put this towards runner choice, since you're doing a wonderful job there, just like the ESA event is. And remember to only have one waifu, because more than one waifu will ruin your lifeu. We got another $10 donation from Anonymous. Can't wait for your TF2 run and get that nape. Another $5 donation from Kraka Cafe. Gas, gas, gas. I'm gonna run as Flash. Tonight I'll fight to be the winner. Congrats on not soft lucking, buddy.
Thanks, Kraka. Thank you, everybody, actually. So yeah, it's about to start. We're going to recruit Krista here. Krista is the second NPC who will actually give us gas and blades, which is really nice. And some of the triggers in here are broken as well. The important ones are Sasha in this corner, Connie is going to appear in the top right, and Mikasa in the top middle. Even though it's a 5-minute snowfest of doing nothing, we're going to do the missions anyway because we can get better allies than these rank Cs. If we do everything, the last NPC is actually Reiner, and we'll still be like about a minute ahead of the 5 minutes. So we're going to have to wait until Sasha's trigger hits here. Krista's are still going through. Again, it's not... You're alive? Okay. And again, positioning is important because you saw all of my NPCs who I told to attack the nape just flew right over him. Should be the one, I believe. And again, the nice thing is, because even though this is a plains mission, because Armin has chain dash, we can just go as far and as wide as we want. It's really nice. There is a resupply. It's not until the very end, but we'll be grabbing that when we get there. So basically going through all the NPCs, or most of the NPCs who you saw throughout the game, or throughout the actual source material, who don't get that much in the game, like Ymir here. She's reasonably important. I think that should have hit the trigger. If not, it's fine because hers will come back. Notice he's just gone to the middle of the map for some reason. That never happens. This isn't one of the ones that I have to kill, but he can be a pain in the backside when we're coming to the end of this mission, so I'm just going to take him out ahead of time.
We got another $10 donation from Anonymous. Eren, 3% high.
Oops. Didn't use my grenade there.
Also, we got a $20 donation from 7 Sins. As promised, for the plan to be called Congruence. Save the kids.
I think I should have done Connie's trigger. I'm a little worried about that one, because that one I need to hit. I think that's the trigger there. So I'm going to go over and see Reiner. If not, I can come back to see Connie very briefly whilst going through. Oh, Reiner's trigger as well is a little weird, because sometimes you can... They're supposed to join automatically when you actually finish the side missions. Reiner sometimes doesn't. You, not you, I want you. That was almost me getting grabbed. I could do with my horse here to resupply my gas. That was a good hit actually from you though. Sometimes they'll just look at you like this and you just... Yeah, you have to hope. 2 minutes left, there should be enough time to get to Mikasa and good old Bertie over there. Bertie over there's a nice lad. I'm actually going to take Reiner with me. Yeah. I think I've had it glitched once where by doing that at the right time you can have 2 Reiners in your team. Yeah, well, 2 Reiners in your team on the left hand side but not actually 2 Reiners in your team, which is a shame because Reiner's actually really good here. It's a shame. The Sasha, Connie, and Mikasa are basically setting up defenses. Those are the reasons why these 3 don't actually join you, rather than the others who have joined us. Good old Bertie here as well. He'll just be a resupply unit for us. Actually running a little out of gas. Kind of surprised. Guess Chris hasn't given any to us, so well. Okay, if we can get over to the side... Actually use our hooks. You see that Reiner is just, he's a powerhouse. He's great. So by completing this one, you automatically get a resupply, and by speaking to Berthold, you also get a different resupply. So we're going to do that, and we've done all the missions. Again, we're 30 seconds ahead. We just have to wait. It gives us a nice, good time to get set up into position. And again, nicely being on the horse allows us to change our blades and our gas, like, without having the animation.
And probably enough time for one really nice, encouraging $5 donation.
Yep.
We got $5 from Anonymous saying, donating for the great commentary and for the runner putting up with the AI in this game.
Thank you very much. So that one isn't one that we have to take care of. All the ones we have to take care of will appear over here. I'm not worried about that guy behind me. Yeah, he's seen me. The animations and the looks of the Titans in this game are actually really good, considering like how they look in the source material as well. They actually nail the aesthetic really well. Nice, I didn't expect them to actually get that. So all of these, like the slightly discolored ones that have appeared in these fields, they're the ones that we have to take care of. If you get really, really lucky, which has only happened once in about 30, 40 runs for me, they'll all go into the middle where Mikasa is. And some of the traps that Mikasa has, could you please lock on? Sir? You come back, thank you. Like, when they go in there, you see the 3 arrows on the right there? Those are the traps that were set up. The Titans actually can walk onto those traps and actually just die on them, which is useful. Saves us a bit of time. Sometimes a Titan will be in there, so we do have to be a bit careful. I'm a little worried that one in the field that I'm looking at in the middle has moved up ahead a little bit. Gas now. He's moved up a little too much because the last final subjugation actually appears in the middle of the field. So for that guy to go all the way in is a little bit of a pain. I don't... It's also a little weird with the timing of the decisive battle signal here, because it's not actually faster to use it, considering it obviously... This is so stupid in a snowman costume. It's actually a little faster to use it when you're nearby because of the orders, but if we can get over there, and this is one of the other ones where the grenades sometimes don't work. It did this time. Can you target him? But you actually, even though you're Armin, you saw that massive damage block that just disappeared there. With your NPCs, because you don't use the decisive battle sometimes, as long as you have your NPCs to do it, that's the damage chunk they will do. So it's very important that you don't use the decisive battle signal in front of them and they automatically attack him. So we did a really good job of keeping the Titans out, because the female Titan got into the forest where Eren and everybody else is. So I think, is this one Choices and Consequences? Which we're coming nearer to the end of the run.
What?
Yes, so we're back as Eren. It has been 14 main missions if you don't count the Mysterious Titan one. We are back as the reindeer. So, start of this mission. Levi's squad notices a hooded figure with them, not part of their squad, that stabs Gunter. It turns out it's the female Titan. So, again, we have to quickly take her out. The good thing is we have the Tiger Zeros, which make our damage really good, because otherwise you can see that she has a massive HP bar. You're supposed to destroy 2 of her limbs, but again, it's just faster to take care of the Nate with the speed tech. Now there is 2 glitches that can happen in the second half of this mission. I know how one of them works, I'm unsure of how the other one works. So we're gonna basically, everyone's telling Eren not to transform into a Titan. However, Eren wants to fight, and there's a cutscene that's gonna happen, and everybody here is unfortunately gonna get wiped out by the female Titan, because the game, the source material at this point is where she starts hardening her limbs, which is where your blades and stuff are supposed to bounce off. So she should have had them for this start, but for some reason the game doesn't have them. So that's useful for us because we can just use the quick stuff. So when everyone dies, Eren just goes, okay, I'm mad, I'm going to be a Titan now. You didn't move backwards. So we get a really cool fight between the female Titan and you as, obviously, Eren in Titan form. We want to use dashes to build up it really quickly. Ideally, I wanted her to be on the right. You didn't get into your slaughter phase. So one of the glitches is a damage glitch, where your normal punches, you can see... Are you in the tree? Nice. So you can see my normal punch is doing like 600, 700 damage. The damage glitch allows us to do about 3,000 damage a punch. It is really hard to set up and really hard to pull off. You have to intentionally... like how the rest of the game you had, take care of their limbs, their nape, their arms. You have to intentionally, I believe, take care of her arms and her nape. I need to see you, because she shouts here. If you use a throw, you actually are able to just pick her up and stop her shouting animation, which stuns you, knocks you back, and just wastes time. This is what's normally supposed to happen, where she just, as soon as you do your special, she goes into a slaughter phase if you've done enough damage. We're not going to get the damage glitch in this fight, unfortunately. That's a tree. That's a miss. But basically, I'm trying to intentionally, get behind her and start attacking her nape. If you see, the screen go blue, that means her nape is gone, and that's usually the sign that we've actually managed to get the damage glitch. It's really hard to pull off. The second one that I didn't mention, when she's down in between phases like that, and she stands up to shout, she stays down for the whole of her dialogue, like this. However, by pushing her slightly, and I believe, I'm not 100% certain of this, I believe if you push her, into, a tree or the side, it kind of... Because I think I got this the other day, in the last mission, where if you push her into a tree or in the side, her hitbox is kind of in the air, and the game thinks, okay, this shouldn't be happening, so as soon as she hits the ground, she stands up like she normally would, and you can grab her and stop all of the animations. This is the penultimate mission. This is a really good mission because it is literally just really fast. The goal is basically get the female Titan. Despite winning in the fight, Eren loses against the female Titan. So Mikasa sees it, gets a little traumatized because the female Titan basically eats Eren and runs off with him. And Levi just basically says, leave it to me. Which should be able to do. Another grenade there just in case. I am not going out far enough. There we go. It's the length of the blades. If you don't go out far enough, you don't have the speed because you start attacking immediately. And that's the mission. That's it. That's what you gotta do. Like, there's a whole... It's the same map as before. You can tell it's a Koei Tecmo game, a Muso game, because obviously it reuses a lot of the same maps. There's 2 or 3 maps that you won't see that are actually in Colossal Titan %. But they keep getting used. So we save Eren from the female Titan, and in the source material, it's obviously had the time to build up and hint about the female Titan. The game hasn't had that opportunity, so it basically just starts name dropping. And it basically just starts going, right, Sawney and Bean were killed by somebody who used older person who died in the Frost District's gear. And the game basically says here, yeah, it's Annie. The game basically just, because it hasn't had a chance to actually build anything up, it's just like, yeah, it's Annie, you saw her once in the game before. Just kill Annie. So this is the final mission. And Annie's AI at the start here is awful. Like, I absolutely hate this. We want her to be a little staggered at the start so she doesn't chase us too fast. We have to wait for these cannons to start, because remember when I said the Titan hardening actually wasn't in play? It is now. And even in this last mission, we're still going to get the tutorial pop up. So now she'll start walking towards us. She can do a number of things. So because her thing is hardened and we can't use our blades to take her nape out, we're going to use the 1 speed tech from the very start of the run. Cannon over there. It was General Beatrix who found this trick and is the one who found all the other the grenade ones. So basically, she's actually behaving reasonably well. We'll get a resupply here and a resupply over there. This one's the only important one. She's here early a little bit. Sometimes she'll just walk down the side, which is what we want. If she walks normally, that's perfect. If she jumps like this, it's not perfect. Walk into position. These trees are solid. We can't shoot through them. I hit you from here. So we want to hit her nape. This is a little risky, not gonna lie. Gonna have to restart from the checkpoint. Sometimes she'll just be like hyper aggressive like this and just like really get in your face, and then if she hits that cannon, it's over. There's another cannon down there, but it takes ages to get to, so I'd rather just restart from the checkpoint. It's a shame that this can happen at the end of the run, but happens. So like I said, the best point is if she just walks down the path like normal. When she starts jumping over those buildings, that's a danger sign. And now she's all the way over there and isn't coming over. Good game. Get the other resupply. But basically what we want to do is when she gets here, it triggers this side mission of leading her to Hangei, and it fills up our decisive battle signal. You saw that I was only doing like 600-700 damage-ish. But whenever the decisive battle signal, you'll start to see the damage come out. But yeah, these taunts are a little good. So hopefully she behaves. She saw me. Annie, come on. Come over here. Hit that trap. If she hits that trap, she'll fall down. Good girl. Right. Try again. Are you kidding me right now? Are you actually kidding me right now? I don't even know if this is hitting her. No, it wasn't hitting her at all. Annie. Annie, why are you doing this to me? Like, she will never behave when you want her to behave. If it doesn't work this time, I'll go over to the second cannon, not waste my grenades. There's no way to actually manipulate her apart from staying back, which I might do this time. I'll take the resupply, and then I'll stay over there, and hopefully she'll stay back. But even then, when you come over here, she can just try and jump the building. And if I stay here... If she doesn't notice me, it'll be fine. Atta girl. That's what we like to see. See, now she's in the perfect position for us to just shoot her, mate. That should be good. Gotta be careful not to hit her arm. I like to let her look towards me because she can re-trigger that trap and then like be locked in a state of like kind of stun lock. But you can see how much damage we're doing thanks to the decisive battle. Do I have enough? It's going to be tight, actually. No. We're good. We're good. Alright, so the second part of this is going to be a repeat of choices and consequences. With this mission, like, for some reason, even though he's trying, Eren can't actually transform into a Titan. Anime Jean turns up, he's all like, I'm important. No, you're not. And basically, Eren finally gets the guts to transform into a Titan. So we have one final confrontation between Eren and the female Titan. I apologize about that took far too long. Like, she can behave and then she can just be awful like that. So again, same glitches apply, they can both happen here. I'm going to try and keep her in this corner. I don't want her to... Like, this is good, because she can actually, like, do a spin attack that can actually kill you. Which, that's really bad to see. Unfortunately, the game checkpoints enough. Hit her a few times in the back, which is good. But the trouble is, you can't get the damage glitch going into the second slaughter phase. Hi. I have skipped a slaughter phase. That's kind of bad, because I have to hit a few extra punches. I don't know if it occurs in the PS4, in the PC version. There's a building in the PS4 version that if Annie crashes into, will hard crash the game. So, I don't know if it's on this one. I think it's one of the ones that's over there, that big one. But unfortunately, we didn't get the shout glitch, so we have to wait until she stands up and tries to scream. But again, there's the whole, like, if you're on the side of a ledge and trying to dash, it can mess you up a little bit. I'm not going to get the damage glitch this time either, it looks like, unless this works. No. So one final slaughter phase, and we'll be done. Play nice. You are going to play nice, and this should be the final. This should be the final punch here. That's it. And that was Attack on Titan. Apologize about the ending taking so long and the setup taking so long. We found something interesting with this game when setting it up as well that's never happened before. So this game continues to surprise. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Keep watching.
All right, thank you very much, Froob. But once again, incredible run. Thank you very much. We'll be playing some ads, and we'll be right back after.
Jinsi ilikuwaka, msikangu alimbakaka na iko na miaka 7. Kisha njoo bana kumubaka ule kiana banamkamata na moya goma.
Mtoto hawajifunzi. Mtoto mmoja anakosa na fahamu.
Juu anaanza niambia sasa mie niandike barua nitamani goma sasa kusudi mtoto aikare fasi moja. Mimi namwambia
has everybody got their banners ready? Yeah. Brilliant. We'll be up front with this one, which I think says it all. What has aid ever done for anyone?
Fair trade chocolate?
What?
Fair trade chocolate. Aid has helped get that, right?
Okay, all right. Some chocolate. Brilliant. But apart from a bit of chocolate, what has aid ever actually done for anyone?
Sanitation,
Sanitation.
education,
What?
educating people.
No, he's right about that, actually.
5 million kids are educated as a result of British aid.
Vaccinations.
Well, yes, obviously vaccinations. That goes without saying.
He is right again, and there's a massive one that I just can't remember.
But what has aid actually ever...
Oh, I've got it! Help stop 5 million kids dying from horrible diseases such as malaria, pneumonia, and that one that you always get, Dave.
Diarrhea.
That's it, before their 5th birthday.
All right, okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Oh, yeah, sorry, polio. Yeah, aid has nearly eradicated polio across the globe.
Okay, but apart from those...
Natural disasters. Basically, it's the aid and the aid organisations that go in there help sort it out. Absolutely.
All right, I get it. Any other smart ass got anything to add? No? Okay, so what have we got? Apart from providing clean water and sanitation for 2 million people, enabling 5 million children to go to school, vaccinating over 80 million children against killer diseases, helping to stop people dying from preventable illnesses, nearly eradicating polio, and responding to 32 natural disasters across the globe in the last year, the big question is, what has aid ever actually done for anyone?
Created financial growth, diminished terrorism, helped bring peace and democracy.
Oh, shut up!
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing apart from those things that are on the sign there.
Hey!
Oh, good gosh.
What is it good for?
Absolutely just a couple of minor things.
Hey!
Oh, good grief.
What is it good for?
Absolutely just...
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Welcome back.
You just missed Attack on Titan speedrun by FroobMcGuffin.
It was a good run. In fact, if he's...
Ooh. Ooh.
I just heard a voice.
Yeah, I think I heard some lovely person. Am I imagining this? I can hear you.
Perfectly clear.
Yeah. Or are we going crazy?
No.
Wait, are they trying to like... I am confused. I think the super hexagon run earlier might have something to do with this.
Regardless if Froob is still around, we do still have a donation that we should read before he goes out of range. You want to do the honors?
Yeah. So we have a $5 donation from Nemesis6. I love this guy. Such good commentary. I'm not dead, asleep, or bored. What a great show.
He did put on a really good solo run and commentating and having terrible luck with Eren hugging trees and still finishing with an estimate.
Yeah, he was like running in circles, it was trees, also glitching through paths, I believe.
I have no idea. He had some issues, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know. We're here to save the kids. He was all about save the trees, apparently.
Yep. I mean, we gotta respect the trees as well.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we gotta respect the trees.
That's true. I mean,
is it a right, Krograns?
Even though no one has donated towards, the plant in a while.
I mean, you just bombed 3 with the Krograns as the new name, didn't you?
I don't hear you. No.
Can't you hear me? Testing. They can hear us?
Now I can hear you. This is weird.
That was weird.
Huh. Okay.
Anyway, you are watching the European Speedrunner Assembly 2017, which is our yearly charity event for helping the Save the Children organization, which has been active for over 120 years.
That's a long time.
That is a lot of years.
Long time.
They have, as said, they have been working with natural disasters. They're working locally, like here in Sweden, in UK, in Netherlands, and also in all like in countries out in the world needing
They're
help right now.
international.
Yeah, they're
they
international.
don't just focus on one area. It's
Yeah.
the entire world, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's insane, all the work they put through.
They do. That's why we're here. Help them. Help us, if you will.
Yeah, just gonna move my ship over here. But yeah, next up on our schedule, we do have Crusader of Senti, all bosses present by George. George?
I have never heard of this game.
Yeah, George. You ready?
Okay, we're already ready for Crusader of Jetty, so good luck, George.
Enjoy.
Have fun.
Alright, we're ready.